question 14, how many people do you know personally with dreadlocks? This is really funny because I probably would have said none. I mean, like someone I actually know. Until this year, all my blog friends and things like that. But now that we've moved here, there is a girl named Heather who has dreadlocks, and then also an older lady named Lisa who has a couple of dreadlocks where we live. And to round out this question, which is really funny, last night I started my husband's dreadlocks. So I do know now someone very personally who has dreadlocks. Although, I mean, right now he has 10 backcombed, sections of hair. But, the concept is there. So I can answer that question yes now. The next is, have any employers turned you down for having dreadlocks? Or have any of them wanted you because of your dreadlocks? This was a huge source of concern for me when I first started them, because at the time I started them, I was working kind of as a contract social worker, and I was going out and doing home visits in this beach town, and I didn't even ever see the owner of the company, who was also a social worker. So I don't think actually ever knew that I started dreadlocks. And so I was still just seeing patients. I had interviewed with her before I had them. And so then I had a couple of interviews after that, and I was really panicked. But I pulled my hair back, so you probably couldn't really tell. And I had a scarf around that I had them. And I worked for that company for another 2 years as my dreads looked really horrific and finally grew out. And I never had anyone make a comment. And then, has anyone wanted you because of your dreadlocks? At this job that I have right now, I'm still a hospice social worker. It's the same. I've been working in the same capacity, pretty much the whole time I've had dreadlocks. But my boss is a couple years younger than me and kind of hippie-ish, and she made a comment at one point. It's like, I love your hair. So I don't think she hired me because of my dreads, but I'm pretty sure that helped influence her decision. Now the next question is my favorite. So this one is what's the weirdest question you've gotten about your dreads? The dumbest, the funniest, what's the most common thing? And so I started writing down a bunch of stuff. Some of them are comments and some of them are questions, but these are the things I pretty much hear all the time. Pretty much always people will ask me, is it your real hair? And they always say, can I touch it? I mean, the amount of people who have touched my hair is insane. People always ask, how do you wash it? And how do you get rid of them? Questions like that. Some of the funniest things I've had is, people are like, do you like Bob Marley? They'll always ask me Jamaican or Rasta theme questions. And then this was literally a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. I was at a nursing home, and this young white girl comes running down the hall, and she's looking at me, and I don't know if it's about a patient, I don't know what she's about to say, and she's like, oh my gosh, I have never seen a girl with Jamaican hair. And she just kept saying it over and over, I've never seen a girl with Jamaican hair. And I was cracking up. It was so funny. And the other one that always made me laugh was my niece, who, okay, let's see, she's 9 now, she's 5 when I started my dreadlocks. And at some point along, when they started to get really hard, she'd always grab them, and she's like, they feel like sticks, they're like sticks. And so that became the joke, as she got older, it was always can I play with your sticks? And she's always touching my hair. So those are some of the funniest things. But I mean, people will literally come up with some hysterical stuff. But mostly people just think it's not my real hair. The next question, have you ever had a freak accident or an embarrassing moment involving your dreads? Yes, and this same incident has happened a couple of times. So I work in hospice care. I'm mostly doing emotional support to the family members, to the caregivers. And on a couple of occasions, my dreadlocks have gotten stuck in one of the, it's obviously a woman, but the patient's wife or mother or whatever gives me a hug, and they get stuck in her earrings. And it's so weird because you have to untangle yourself, Very awkward. But yeah, that's happened a few times. The next one is, do you have any dreaded role models? And if so, who? And this is, I kind of referred to this at the beginning of the video. Almost every, I think every single person who was my role model when I was starting dreadlocks or along the way no longer has dreads. So if you're going to ask me about role models for people who have shaved their head, yes, there are plenty. But in the beginning, just if you're curious to go back and look at them with dreadlocks, there is a woman who named Sarah Jansen. She was like from the Happy Jansens. She blogged. They lived in an RV, which I think also was like a big motivator to me that like we could live in an RV, you know, we could actually do it. And that was, you know, when we actually bought our RV in Galveston, I was really into her blog, but she had, you know, amazing blonde dreadlocks and has since cut hers off. Another woman, Tara Wagner, she's the organic sister. She was organic sister. I don't know what she's now doing some like more like life coaching type stuff, but she had like incredible dreadlocks, and she also has an amazing video that she did when she shaved her head. And then there was another girl on YouTube who was like a big, you know, I remember watching hers in the beginning. She was very young at the time, in high school, I think, Sonora. And like she had these like red awesome dreadlocks, and so I always liked to watch her videos. So those were kind of some of mine in the past who no longer have dreadlocks. And then number 19, what dreaded YouTubers, forums, internet people could you see yourself hanging out with in real life? And so there is a blog that I was following that then she got dreadlocks, so it wasn't because of her dreadlocks, but her name's Brooke Hampton. She's on Barefoot 5, and she's just super cool. We actually were hoping to meet her when we still lived in Texas. They were starting like doing some cool homeschooling stuff, and had a little shop, and so we just never got to go, but she's very cool. And then another one who now goes by Mother Clover, who I watched a lot because of mommy stuff, and we had kids, you know, about the same time. Her second baby is, you know, my daughter's age, and she had amazing dreadlocks. And as I just went back to look up her name, I realized now it's been like over a year that she shaved her head, so she doesn't have her dreadlocks anymore either. But definitely I could see myself hanging out with her. She's kind of a fun, you know, natural mama. And then pretty much anybody from Dreadlock Truth. Like, I love Dreadlock Truth, and you know, I haven't been very involved in the forums and stuff, but you know, there's quite a few people who respond, you know, to my updates, and who I'd love to just sit down and have some tea and hang out with, for sure. And question 20 is, who are you going to tag? I'm not going to tag anybody. Like I said, pretty much anybody who I would have tagged doesn't have dreads anymore. So this is just for me, for fun. And just kind of a walk down memory lane of my dreads and what I've done, and you know, I don't know, this whole experience. I had always said I wanted to have them like at least for 5 years. People sometimes ask me, well, how long are you going to have them for, you know? I'm like, I don't know. But when I think now about cutting them in a year, I'm like, well, I can't see that happening, you know? So I also love having dreadlocks when I'm pregnant and have a young baby, because you don't have to do your hair, especially now when they're really easy. And I'm hoping in the next year, you know, to get pregnant again and go through that journey all over again, which I've talked about in some videos. Like, the parallels are pretty uncanny. So I have no idea how long I've been talking. This video could be way too long, but that is my Dreadlock 20 questions and my 4-year update. I'll try to give you a little spin around so you can see them, and I may also do like a little montage of clips to kind of run through the progression, because I've always wanted to see it. Now my husband finally has some editing software, so hopefully I can put something together like that. So thank you for watching, you know, all through the years. And if you're just starting out your journey, go back and look at some of mine, and hopefully it won't scare you too much, the shrinking, but hopefully inspire you that no matter what they look like, that they really do, you know, with time, what did I say? Good things come to those who wait. So be patient and enjoy the ride, and connect, you know, with people. in real life, the ability to just have people ask you questions, but also online, and I got so much support that way, which was, invaluable. So here we go. Take care. Bye.